Well, I'm out here taking a walk on this beautiful day, and in my part of the country it seems to have skipped right over spring and right into summer, and I think that serves as a perfect metaphor for what can happen sometimes in our training. We have a plan that we're executing and things come up, and if you've been following along on the channel, you know that I've been following an 80-20 training plan to work on my 10K speed this spring, and I'm supposed to be doing the higher intensity speed work in the peak phase right now, but I've got some ankle issues going on, and so at this point it's lingered on long enough that I need to essentially skip right over the peak training phase and really focus on nursing my ankle back to health, because my A goal for the year is returning to the marathon this fall, and when I start training for that this summer, I don't want to go into that with lingering issues with my ankle because I tried to push through the discomfort and the things going on just to continue to work on my speed, etc. So in today's video I'm going to share with you how I plan on going about dealing with that, so stay tuned. Be right back right after this. So hello everyone, welcome back to another video here on Keep Running with BK. And as I shared in the intro, I have to adjust my training plan and deal with some lingering ankle issues I have. So to kind of go into describing what's going on, I don't know exactly where it originated or why it is as severe as it is. I don't think it's attributed to the speed work that I introduced in my 80-20 base training phase. I think it has to do with either some sort of stress from some sort of movement or rolling my ankle. Maybe when I was out on the trails one day or here or there, I might have rolled my ankle, not really realizing the impact of that. Or it could be just compensating for other things going on. Bottom line is I think I have some inflammation and some weaknesses and an imbalance that's developed with my ankle, and I noticed it when I was doing some balancing exercises earlier this week, especially where my left ankle, which is not the one I'm concerned about, I was able to balance a lot easier and for a lot longer, where as soon as I started to try to balance on my right ankle, yeah, I was all over the place, needing to grab something for balance regularly, consistently, and you could definitely tell a difference. So there's definitely something going on there. Also, you know, I'd taken some time off from running because whenever I start running, just that impact, I would definitely feel it. Took a week off, came back to running. I was able to run an entire week with a little bit less mileage, but I was feeling the discomfort. And then when I started up again earlier this week, I noticed that on the uphills or downhills, and especially whenever I was making a turn in the cul-de-sacs on the streets or the roads that I was running on, I could definitely sense an increase in discomfort. So there's definitely some things going on here, and I don't want it to get worse. You know, there's a number of different things that are going on with your ankle. You have a lot of muscles and ligaments and things like that going in lots of different directions to provide a lot of different functions, such as stability, balance, and strength. And we want to make sure that we're doing exercises to address all of those. And so that's what I'll be demonstrating and talking about in today's video. I'm going to start off with some strengthening exercises where I'm going to basically lean against something with my feet slightly out in front of me, resting on my heels, and I'm going to work on pulling my toes up for about 10 reps just to work. I believe they refer to it as the dorsiflexion function of your foot or your ankle. You'll feel it burn in your shins, and I'll do that about 10 times. The next thing that I'm going to do is more of like calf races, really, and that's where I'm, rather than pulling my foot up, it's where I'm pushing my foot down. I'm bearing the most of the load when I'm running or walking, etc., and I want to strengthen that. So I will do essentially calf races. I will use something for balance as needed, because again, I'm working on strength more than balance in this particular exercise. And I may feel that if my ankle has got issues, I may feel that a little bit, but mostly I should be feeling it in the calf area as well. It's working the supporting ligaments and muscles for extending and bearing that weight. The third exercise I'm going to do is really working that side to side motion. And so I'm going to basically be moving my toes from left to right and almost kind of like shuffling. And almost like shuffling to work that side to side motion. Again, you've got a lot of different ligaments and muscles supporting your ankle for stability, balance, and strength, moving in all directions, as it is a joint, and so we want to make sure that we're strengthening all of those as well. The other thing that I might do is do some hopping, just basic hopping up and down. Again, I want to be careful of, my case where when I'm running, I feel that impact of the pounding, and that agitates it. So I got to be very careful. I don't want to do this or do too much of it if there's pain. The goal should be pain-free here. But once I can do up and down comfortably, then maybe I'll do some forward and back and side to side, starting on 2 feet, and then eventually I may move to single leg as I get stronger and in a much better place than where I am starting with the injury. This is really important for athletes, just because when we're running, especially like on trails, or if we're running, we've got impact to support the body weight. And we're dealing with all types of terrain, such as right now I'm kind of walking on a sidewalk that is a little bit slanted and it's going uphill. That's going to flex my foot and my ankle differently. And so again, if I'm running, I'm going to be feeling impact at these different angles. And so these hops up and down, forward and back, left and right, they're all going to go towards strengthening my ankle. And it's a good way too to measure how I'm doing as far as healing and how ready I am to return to running. I'm also going to do some single leg balancing exercises where I'll stand on one foot and try to balance for up to 30 seconds. At least that's where I'll start, and then I'll alternate and do that. And I won't be surprised, as I've seen in my own test, that when I'm doing the compromised foot or the compromised ankle, that it's going to be hard to balance. And I'm going to be squirming all over, trying to find something to hold on to. And it's okay to hold on to something at first, or at least be nearby something to hold on to should you start to lose your balance. But as things improve and as your ankle gets stronger, then you should be able to stand more steadily, more easily, as you do the exercises, and then you can work your way up to 45 seconds or a minute or even longer. And then if you want, you can even then stand on something like a pillow or something else that has a little give to it, and it's like starting all over again. Obviously you have a stronger ankle, but now as your body weight does minor shifts and adjustments, your ankle is gonna be reacting, and you're training the brain, you're training the nervous system, you're training your ligaments to stabilize and balance as it has to adjust to the imbalances that you're dealing with, and that'll also translate then to your running when you're back out on the roads, back out on the trails, and you'll have stronger, healthier ankles. So make sure you incorporate some balancing exercises in there. You know, the thing I've been wrestling with and trying to figure out, because I've had many ankle injuries over the years, from days of playing baseball and soccer and all kinds of other things, and even running, is it okay to run on it? And generally speaking, if on a scale of 1 to 10 the discomfort level is 4 or less, then I probably would continue to try to push through it. I would ease off the volume, I'd ease off the intensity. I would try to, as I learned this past week, avoid uphills and downhills where I'm feeling it, and try to keep it on the straightaways. And that would be best. And as long as I'm doing that, like right now, I've decided that I'm not doing any running, because when I run, I find myself grimacing. So that's definitely over a higher level than a 4 pain level on a scale of 1 to 10. And so what I've decided to do is use the time I normally would run every day and go for a walk for the same amount of time. Just getting in some exercise. It doesn't hurt when I walk, so I'm getting some exercise. I'm working the ankle a little bit, I'm working the calves a little bit, trying to maintain some level of conditioning, albeit low heart rate, low aerobic intensity, but that's better than nothing or just sitting around waiting for things to get better. At least I'm getting some fresh air and exercise, getting the heart rate up a little bit. But as I start to feel better, then I'll probably do some walking, certainly for a warm-up and a cool-down type of thing, and then do some light jogging on flatter straightaways, and progress from there as my ankle feels better and is able to handle the impact, able to handle slight adjustments left and right, you know, pivoted or not. You know, you got to gauge the health of your ankle that you're working on and strengthening. And so that's kind of the plan that I have for dealing with what's going on with my ankle in the foreseeable near future, until I can return to regular running. My goal will be to hopefully be ready to go without any issues come time for marathon training in the worst case scenario. Best case scenario is maybe after a week or two of doing these exercises that I will be ready to return to running sooner than that. I'll probably keep it to easy running. I don't want to go out too hard and compromise this. And you know, if I get back in say a week or two and I'm feeling good, I may still attempt a 10K time trial just to see what I'm able to do on the training that I've had. Of course, I won't put myself in a position to jeopardize my goal of being ready to train for a marathon. But then I'm also really looking forward to the next virtual challenge here with the channel. So if you've been following along, we're doing a virtual running event each quarter here on Keep Running with BK. And I invite you as friends and supporters of the channel to join me in this. And on Friday, June 10th at 6:00 p.m., I am going to start running 1 mile every hour on the hour for 24 hours for the 24-hour backyard challenge. And if you'd like to join in, all you have to do is email me at bkskeeprunning@gmail.com. Tell me that you're in. Tell me if you're going to do the full event, which is obviously 24 hours, the half event 12 hours, or the third event, which is 8 hours. And make sure to email me back with pictures or story of how your experience went and what you thought of the challenge. And if you'd like to make a very short video sharing about your experience, I may use some of those in the video I do here on the channel after the event. And if you're new here, I'd like to invite you to subscribe here to the channel at Keep Running with BK and check out some of the other videos. I have a goal of reaching 500 subscribers by this summer. I've got about 100 to go, so I could really use your help. Feel free to share the link to the channel with any friends that you have who might be interested in running content of all sorts. We talk about different training approaches, training for different distances. Obviously, we're excited here about the virtual events that we're doing this year. And I'd love to have you along as a friend and supporter of the channel by clicking on subscribe. And feel free to share your comments along the way as what you're getting out of these videos or what you're striving for in your own training. Any questions or topic ideas that you have, I'd love to hear them. And for now, I just want to say thanks again for checking out today's video. And until next time, stay safe, train smart, and keep running.